Seniors, believe it or not, your body has the capacity to rebuild strength even after 50, and the difference between frailty and vitality often comes down to a single nutrient trigger that you are likely missing right now. Most people assume that getting weaker is just a natural part of the aging process that cannot be stopped. But here is the medical reality that most doctors overlook. Your muscles are not just dying off, they are starving for specific biological signals that tell them to grow, and these signals require precise chemical keys to unlock them. Researchers have discovered that by optimizing just a few specific nutrients, older adults can flip a switch in their metabolism that restores the ability to build lean tissue almost like they did in their 30s. Today, we are going to reveal the 4 critical nutrients your muscles are begging for, starting with an energy transporter that prevents fatigue and ending with the master growth trigger that overcomes anabolic resistance. Number 2 is the hormonal switch that most seniors are critically deficient in, which leads directly to muscle atrophy. Before we begin, tell us in the comments what your current biggest struggle is with your energy or strength levels. We are reading and replying to every single comment with personalized tips for your situation. Now, let's get started and be ready, because number 4 changes everything. Number 4, the energy transporter, carnitine. We begin with a nutrient that addresses the primary complaint of almost every senior, which is that feeling of heavy, laden legs that makes walking up a flight of stairs feel like climbing a mountain. You might assume this heaviness is just a natural decline in muscle power, but new research suggests it is actually a fuel delivery problem happening deep inside your cells. Your muscles rely on mitochondria, which are the microscopic power plants that generate energy to keep you moving. To produce that energy, these power plants need to burn fat. But here is the catch that most doctors miss. Fatty acids cannot just walk into the mitochondria on their own. They require a specific biological shuttle bus to transport them across the mitochondrial membrane. That shuttle bus is a compound called carnitine. When you were young, your body produced ample amounts of carnitine, allowing your muscles to burn fat efficiently for endless energy. But as you age, carnitine levels in your tissues naturally decline. This creates a metabolic bottleneck where your cells are surrounded by fuel but cannot actually access it. It leads to a condition called mitochondrial dysfunction, where your engine is flooded with gas, but the spark plugs are not firing. Researchers at the University of Nottingham School of Life Sciences investigated this mechanism and found that this deficit is a major driver of age-related fatigue. Their research indicates that when the transport of fatty acids is compromised, your body is forced to burn through its limited sugar reserves or glycogen much faster. This is why you hit a wall so quickly. But the study revealed that replenishing this transport mechanism helps restore what scientists call metabolic flexibility. This is the ability of your muscles to switch back to burning fat as a primary fuel source. When you restore this pathway, you preserve your glycogen for when you really need it, like lifting a heavy box or catching your balance. The result is that the feeling of heavy legs dissipates and your stamina for daily activities returns. You can find carnitine in red meat, which is the most abundant natural source, but you would need to consume large quantities to correct the deficiency. For many seniors, using a specific supplemental form called L-carnitine L-tartrate is the most efficient way to restore levels. This form is absorbed rapidly and goes directly to muscle tissue. By fixing the fuel line, you ensure that your muscles have the raw energy they need to function before you even worry about building new mass. It is the first step in reclaiming your physical independence, but restoring energy is only effective if you protect the structure that holds your muscles together. Before we continue, smash that like button and subscribe right now. Don't miss the life-changing tips still ahead. Number 3, the collagen builder, glycine. You might have the energy to move and the muscle to lift, but if the connective tissue that holds your body together is failing, you will remain sedentary due to pain. This brings us to the 3rd critical nutrient, which is a specific amino acid that most modern diets have completely eliminated. It is called glycine. Most seniors focus entirely on muscle fibers, but muscle does not float in a vacuum. Every muscle in your body is wrapped in a tough, flexible sheath of connective tissue called fascia, which is made almost entirely of collagen. When you are young, your body synthesizes collagen effortlessly, keeping your tendons snappy and your joints lubricated. But the medical reality is that your body's demand for glycine significantly outstrips its ability to produce it as you age. Researchers at the Baylor College of Medicine have identified glycine as a conditionally essential nutrient for older adults. This means that while your body can make some of it, the metabolic processes of aging require far more than you are producing to maintain structural integrity. A deficiency in glycine leads to brittle fascia and weak tendons. This is why you might pull a muscle reaching for a seatbelt or feel a sharp pain in your knee after a short walk. It is not necessarily the muscle failing, but the structural fabric that supports it. The study highlights that adequate glycine availability is the rate-limiting factor for collagen synthesis. If you do not have enough glycine, your body simply cannot repair the daily microdamage that occurs in your tissues. But the benefits extend beyond just structure. The research also suggests that glycine plays a surprising role in regulating insulin sensitivity and reducing system-wide inflammation. High levels of inflammation are catabolic, meaning they actively send signals to break down muscle tissue. By lowering this inflammatory load, glycine creates a protective environment where muscle can be preserved rather than wasted. The problem is that glycine is found in the parts of food we nowadays throw away, such as the skin of chicken, the gristle of meat, and gelatinous bone broth. Modern seniors tend to eat boneless, skinless, lean muscle meats, which are high in methionine but dangerously low in glycine. This imbalance accelerates the aging of your connective tissue. To fix this, you need to reintroduce these gelatinous foods into your diet or consider a simple collagen or glycine supplement. Adding gelatin to your soups or eating the skin on your roast chicken provides the raw materials your body is screaming for. It repairs the hinges and pulleys of your musculoskeletal system so that you can move without pain. However, even with strong connective tissue, your muscles will not grow if the genetic signal remains turned off. Number 2. The anabolic vitamin, vitamin D3. This next nutrient is the one you probably think you know, but you are likely using it for the wrong reason. For decades, doctors have told you to take vitamin D3 for your bones. While that is true, it ignores a much more urgent function that is critical for your physical strength. Vitamin D3 is not actually a vitamin in the traditional sense. It is a potent steroid hormone precursor that acts directly on your DNA. The shocking truth is that your muscle fibers are covered in vitamin D receptors, or VDRs. These receptors are like satellite dishes waiting for a signal to maintain muscle mass and function. When your vitamin D levels are low, which is the case for the vast majority of people over 60, these receptors go silent. Researchers at the G. Mayer USDA Human Nutrition Research Center on Aging at Tufts University have clinically linked vitamin D deficiency to sarcopenia, which is the medical term for the involuntary loss of skeletal muscle mass. The research shows that this deficiency hits type 2 muscle fibers the hardest. Type 2 fibers are your fast-twitch fibers. These are the muscles responsible for catching yourself when you trip, standing up quickly from a chair, or lifting a heavy object. When these fibers atrophy due to a lack of vitamin D signaling, your risk of fall skyrockets because you lose the explosive power needed to correct your balance. The study demonstrated that correcting this deficiency does more than just harden bone. It improves muscle strength and physical performance scores by essentially turning the genetic machinery for muscle maintenance back on. It acts as a genomic signal that tells your cells to hold on to protein rather than breaking it down. Many seniors take a multivitamin and think they are covered, but the dosage in standard multivitamins is often too low to raise serum levels into the optimal range for muscle activation. The receptors on your muscles require a robust level of circulating vitamin D to stay activated. This is why so many seniors exercise but see zero results. Their biological switch is in the off position. You need to have your doctor check your blood levels and supplement accordingly to reach the upper end of the normal range. Once you saturate these receptors, your muscles can finally respond to the physical demands you place on them. But there is one final piece of the puzzle. You can have the energy, the structure, and the hormonal signal, but you still need the master commander to trigger the building process. Now get ready, because this next one is even more powerful. Number 1. The growth trigger, leucine. We have arrived at the number 1 most critical nutrient for aging muscles, and it is the only one that can overcome the primary physiological barrier to senior strength. That barrier is called anabolic resistance. When a 20-year-old eats a piece of chicken, their body immediately initiates a massive muscle-building response. But when you are over 50, your body barely registers that same protein intake. Your cellular machinery has become desensitized. To break through this resistance, you need a nutrient that acts as a molecular sledgehammer. That nutrient is leucine. Leucine is an essential branched-chain amino acid, but unlike other amino acids, it does not just act as a brick in the wall. It acts as the foreman that screams at the workers to start building. Researchers at the University of Texas Medical Branch have extensively studied this phenomenon and identified something known as the leucine threshold. The study reveals that in older adults, there is a specific concentration of leucine required to trigger a pathway called mTOR. mTOR is the master regulator of cell growth and protein synthesis. If you do not hit this specific threshold in a single meal, the mTOR pathway remains dormant and no muscle building occurs, regardless of how many calories you ate. The research indicates that seniors need approximately 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine in a single sitting to flip this switch. This explains why snacking on low-quality proteins or eating small amounts of plant protein throughout the day often fails to preserve muscle in the elderly. You are constantly falling short of the ignition threshold. The science shows that simply eating some protein is not enough. You must eat the right kind of protein in the right amount at one time. Leucine is found in high concentrations in whey protein, hard cheeses like Parmesan, and animal meats. If you rely on plant sources, you often have to consume double the amount of calories to get the same amount of leucine, which can be difficult for seniors with smaller appetites. By ensuring that at least 1 or 2 of your daily meals are rich in leucine, you forcefully override anabolic resistance. You essentially trick your aging body into responding like a younger one. This is the non-negotiable factor. Without the leucine trigger, your gym efforts are wasted. With it, every bit of movement translates into tangible, functional strength. It gives you the power to carry your own groceries, climb stairs without wind, and live without the fear of becoming frail. You are not destined to wither away just because the calendar says you are older. Your physiology is simply operating under a different set of rules, and now you have the manual to navigate them. These 4 nutrients, carnitine, glycine, vitamin D3, and leucine, are the tools you need to rewrite your physical future. It is not about chasing vanity or trying to look like a bodybuilder. It is about preserving the functional independence that allows you to live life on your own terms. Imagine the confidence of knowing that your body is capable of repairing itself, growing stronger, and supporting you for decades to come. Start by checking your vitamin D levels, looking at your protein sources for leucine, and considering the fuel your mitochondria need. These are simple, science-backed adjustments that give you back control. If this video opened your eyes to a new way of thinking about your strength, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. We are dedicated to bringing you the truth about senior health that actually works. Share your results in the comments below, because your success story could be the inspiration someone else needs to finally get stronger. Which of these 4 nutrients are you missing in your diet right now? Do you eat enough protein at one meal to hit the leucine threshold? Share with us your experiences and opinions in the comments below. We love to hear them. Thank you for watching.